back again with ENEA. A new season, new excitement, and a new reason to celebrate. Race number 1 from the Daytona International Speedway. We're about to get the party started with Sean Anderson and Perrin Huggins on the front row. Bama Trema in the chat, and I wouldn't have it any other way to kick off the season. Drivers wait for the green flag. 80 laps of action from the high banks of Daytona. The green flag waves, and we're racing once again with ENEA. Dakota Long in the number 9 Oreo machine sits behind, single file, 5 cars deep as they enter turn 1. Sean Anderson running 4th in line in that 1-3. He's got Ryan Pasoko behind him in that number 5. Single file and organized, but now look, we have activity on the top side. It looks like Nick Simpson in the 4-6 machine on the outside in that white Chevrolet. The 22 of Paul Weckerly in the Tito's Vodka machine goes to the inside. Jeff Rudick in the 7-4, followed by Mike Bennett and Matthew Croakey in the Eggo Waffles 02 Chevrolet. We'll see if he'll let go of the top 11 and put himself in the top 10. Jake Prince went purple, but he just got beat. Cody McFadden now has that spot behind him in 12th. 2 laps in, fastest lap is 46.08 seconds. Perrin Huggin continues to lead the way. Dakota Long behind him in the number 8 car. Jake Prince 3rd in line in the number 9 Oreo car. Huggins leading the way in the number 4. Dakota Long in that 2nd spot, and Jacob Prince still in 3rd. The 22 of Paul Weckerly, maybe just trying for some fresh air on the high side. The Coors number 91 of Justin Shoup is on the back end of the top 6. Huggins in the number 4, Monster Ford. T. Lockhart, it's good to have you back in the chat too, my friend. Is it like 2020? Yeah, I guess, basically. I think it was 2020 the last time I broadcasted for ENEA, so it's been way too long. But luckily the pieces all fell together, and here we are. Jeff Rudick, one of those drivers that's left outside that first main pack, looking all the way back to Paul Weckerly, who's on the tail end of this first single file battalion. And it seems like they might have just figured out the move. Check out the first 7 cars nose to tail, and then the rest of the field fighting for that precious real estate. Weckerly seems to be losing the draft. He sits in that 7th position right now. Nick Simpson catching him at an incredible rate, but you can smell the tension coming into turn number 1. Matt Croakey leading the 45 of Mike Kirk. And then the number 6 behind him, Ryan Terrien. Terrien sitting ahead of the, I can't tell what car that is, forgive me. New season, new cars. Thunder Mansell, no relation to Nigel, in that number 1 blue and orange Exalta machine on the outside of the 45. They're bottling up out of turn number 4, and there's the first crash. You saw it coming. Caution is out. Weckerly's involved. There's the number 6. Looks like Ryan Terrien caught a piece of that. And then Connor Cordes and the number 5 involved as well. And I think we've got to look to car 22, one Paul Weckerly, who got caught up in that accident. Caution number 1 flies over the Daytona International Speedway. Let's go back and see just what happened. 22 on the high side, slow. Ryan Terrien, nowhere to go. Guys trying to avoid all of these drivers. Let's have a look at Weckerly getting past. There's the 2-2 backing up, and you're just going to see it right there. Nothing he could do. Have another look at Weckerly, just slow. They go 3 wide, trying to avoid him. The 0-2, nowhere to go. Contact the 6, the 5, the 0-2. And it all goes bottoms up. Although, coincidentally enough, Paul Weckerly had no damage in that whatsoever. Let's see if we can get another look from the back end of Weckerly's car. Nope, that is not it. Let's ride on board with the 0-2. Apologies for the poor frame rate. Let's try this one more time here. 0-2 getting into it. Matt Croakey. So the first caution comes out. Perrin Huggins is your race leader. Dakota Long is in second. Jake Prince rounds out the top 3. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're only 10% into the season opener at Daytona. You're watching ENEA Racing live on Rick James TV. Perrin Huggins with control of the field as we get ready to go racing once again. He'll be on the outside. Dakota Long to his inside. Getting ready to turn these race cars loose once again. The pace car peels off. We're going to see these chariots fly at speed. There are the green lights atop the starter stand. Let's go racing. Dakota Long in that second position, following Perrin Huggins early on. In the third position, you've got Jake Prince in the 9. Sean Anderson behind him sitting in 4th. Justin Shute rocking the 5th spot. Mike Bennett in 8th. Cody McFadden rounding out the top 10. Ryan Von Henschel in lucky number 13th position, rocking that number 20 Interstate Batteries machine. Still a little bit of issues with graphics. We'll fix that, no problem. At the front, it's still Huggins, 3 wide. Going down the back, Mike Kirk, top side. Moving down to the inside, Lucas Reed in that number 3. And just to his inside, how about Dylan Schultz up ahead in that 11 car? Brian Tagg in the double 9. Trying to get right behind Reed. Reed driving the Fruity Pebbles Chevrolet so far, sitting in that 16th position. 2 more drivers just went purple. Cody B. Johnson now with the fastest lap of the race in that number 08. At the front, Huggins continues to lead. He's led every lap thus far, single file, but they're not safe. Look at that, single file all the way back to Cody Johnson in that 08. Looking back to Kyle Chafin in the 19th position. Driving that all-black number 44 with Mike Kirk behind him, rounding out the top 20. Looking all the way down to Jake Baker in 27th. He's in that 1-7 car, still running, still very much in the hunt. Every last driver you see on track has that chance to win. It is, of course, Daytona. And if you give me just a second here, we won't miss a thing. We're going to figure out what's going on with these race cars. Give us just a moment. I can tell you it's still single file, and you haven't missed a thing as we fix the poor options that we've selected. Try and fix the view just a bit. And back to regularly scheduled non-blurry programming. At the front, it's Perrin Huggins who leads the way, coming down that front straight to complete lap number 13. He's got a bumper full of Dakota Long. Sean Anderson in the 1-3 CMS Nation behind Jacob Prince. Ryan Pasoko behind him. But this time on the inside, that number 2 sitting ahead of the number 1, Thunderman Cell behind him in that spot. Cody McFadden in the 6-4 has the 2-7 of Colton Hofner behind him. Hofner with Dylan Schultz in the 11 trying to catch up, but he's got that 2-7 just ahead. And here comes the Fruity Pebbles car of Luke Reed. He's made it up in that colorful number 3, but they're starting to dice once again. The 46 of Nick Simpson. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that looks like the Valentino Rossi style 46 on Nick Simpson's ride. That looks pretty cool. The 5-7 of Ryan Lindemann to the inside, and that black and green machine now all up into the bumper of Justin Shoup, being scored incorrectly as the 91 with his car reading 19. We apologize for that. We'll get that fixed, but at the front it remains correct numbers with cars 4, 8, and 9 leading the way. Huggins, Long, Prince, your top 3. So far, so good. No caution. If you've just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Shout out to everybody tuning in, watching this first race of ENEA. I don't know what season this is now. They've been doing this for a while. But this is the first race of the new campaign. Perrin Huggins leading Dakota Long. These top 4 really starting to spread out. Let's ride on board with Sean Anderson. All quiet on the western front. Perrin Huggins ahead of Dakota Long. That top 4 unmoved. Colin Hofner at the front in that 2-7. The Aaron's machine sits just ahead of Dylan Schultz, who's moved up 21 places since the race started. Schultz now the hardest charger of the race. Cody Johnson behind him. Thunderman Cell starting to fall backwards. He's got no draft help in the number 1 machine. Brian Tagg. He's in a twosome right now with Ryan Von Henschel. And all the way back to Paul Weckerly, who was the catalyst behind that first accident. 20 laps underway. 60 to go this time by. Take a look back to this group. Mike Bennett in that number 19. Look at the 46. Shoot to the high side. Nick Simpson. He wants to go and he wants to take Thunderman Cell with him. These two cars now being blocked. You see the 91 and the 64 of Justin Shoup and Cody McFadden getting in their way. Dylan Schultz on the outside now with no draft help. And that's the caution. That's actually the second caution that comes out. 20 laps now complete. That might be a stage break. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out here in a moment. If we are doing stage breaks. So that should be 20 and then a final 40. But it is Dakota Long, Perrin Huggins, and Jake Prince in your top 3. Sean Anderson, Colin Hofner, and Dylan Schultz, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Nick Simpson rounding out the top 10. And if that is indeed the end of the first stage, let's see if we can have a word with our stage winner, one Dakota Long. And matter of fact, let's take a look here. I want to see how Dakota Long got out to the front. He was already in front before he got to Perrin Huggins. Where have I been? Let's have another quick look here. Must be Dakota Long winning that first stage, if anything. Here indeed is the pass. Dakota choosing the right time to move to the inside, and it pays off for him. Let's see if we can bother Dakota Long for a word. Possibly. Not possible at the moment, but that's all right. No problem. No problem. We're going to let the drivers continue to do what they do. We're going to take another quick little break, make sure that everything lines up as it should, and we'll be back for more plate racing from Daytona. Fans, don't go anywhere. You're watching ENEA on Rick James TV. Ready to turn them loose once again. The cars zip by the pit lane entrance. The green flag is out, and we're racing once again. Huggins leading top side. Dakota Long, that first stage winner behind him in that 8. Jake Prince in the 9 sitting in 3rd, and Sean Anderson, they were the top 4 last time around, and they're crashing immediately. The 91's involved. Justin Shoup goes around. The 2-0 is involved. The 1-7 of Jake Baker also got a piece of that. And where's the 2-0? Ryan Von Henschel in the Interstate Batteries Camry caught a piece of that just immediately. They don't even make it one lap. After the restart, let's have another look. Oh, just contact between the 2-0 and the 91. Just not looking where they're going, unfortunately. And you can absolutely tell they just miscalculated that by far too much. Let's have another look. Ryan Von Henschel catching a piece of this one. And this is into turn 3. Have a look. Oh, the 91 just comes up off turn number 4. Nothing Von Henschel could do. Have another look. Justin Shoop in the 9-1. Just getting too close off of turn number 4, really. Bump drafting off the corner, not a smart idea. Let's ride on board with Justin Shoop one more time. Just upsets the car, gets himself loose, and there's the 2-0. Let's go again with Justin Shoop. Tries to come up off turn number 4, and of course a driver was always going to fill that gap. On board with Ryan Von Henschel. And just what is Von Henschel supposed to do there? Guys just getting a little too close and getting together, and it causes caution number 3, 2? Well, the second one was a stage caution, so this will be caution number 3. Perrin Huggins continues to lead this race. Dakota Long in that second position. Bama Trama in the chat. T. Lockhart in the chat. Fans at home, put in the chat and let us know who you're rooting for. Is it Huggins? Is it Long? Is it one of the long shots? How about Dylan Schultz in the 11? Mike Kirk in that 45. Gamecocks Chevrolet has worked his way up to 14th. How about one of these guys? Ryan Von Henschel and Paul Weckerly involved in both, well, no. Involved in an accident. Let's say that. They were involved in a accident so far. Just over 50 laps to go as the lights turn off atop the pace car. And fans at home, we'll be going nowhere, and neither should you. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the restart. Green flag is out as the pace car peels off, and we're getting ready to go racing once again. About to complete lap number 27. There it is, Perrin Huggins with control. Let's go racing. Huggins leading that lap, and now 51 circuits remain at the World Center of Racing. Huggins, Long, Prince, your top three. Special mention to the 13 of Sean Anderson, who has been in the top 5 all race long. Welcome Cody B. Johnson now into that top 5. CJ in the Bass Pro Machine wants to play too. Lockhart in the chat says the front 6 get organized so quickly they leave the field in the dust. Caution number 4 is out on the racetrack. Cody McFadden, Jake Baker have crashed. There's Baker once again left the result of a mishappening. Cody McFadden also the slow crawl of desperation. The 6-4 Coca-Cola Camaro has something to think about. Let's see what happened. And it starts with the 17. Let's go with Jake Baker. Baker just gets turned up the middle. We'll have to look once again and just see what happened to Jake Baker, but that was a really unnatural line into turn number 1. Baker in the 17 just drifting high into the 30. Let's have another look, just see where this stems from. Here's Jake Baker. Watch the line of the 17. See if we can get a better look. Keep your eye on the white Toyota down there in the center. He's on the bottom, and he's going to drift up to the outside, right into the 30 car. What happens? What happens there? The 17 of Jake Baker just missing that opportunity by a long shot. Have another look. Again, Jake Baker in that 1.7 Toyota car. Drift to the high side right where the 30 is, and nothing that can be done. One more look at Baker. Just goes up into the high side. No room for the 3-0. And that's all that she wrote. Chris Mayo getting the worst of that exchange. And just for giggles, one more look. On board with Kyle Chafin. And now on the left front of Ryan Pasocco. Really an awkward move for the 1-7 to make, but we can't do anything about it now. What we can do is take a look at the front of this race, and moving forward, it's going to be Jeff Rudick, who now takes over the race lead. Kansas City's Connor Cordes in the number 5. Busch Latte Chevrolet in that second position. And how about Paul Weckerly, the catalyst of caution number 1, into that third position now. Good for Weckerly. Perrin Huggins in 4th, Dakota Long in that 5th position. Rudick up at the front, however, the lights are off atop the pace car, and it looks like we might just get the rest of this race moving. Cordes on the outside, Rudick to the inside. This will be the first time all race long that the race leader isn't called Huggins, Prince, or Long. No pressure, boys. Nuck in the chat cheering for Perrin Huggins. And Lockhart, a fan of Connor Cordes, and Ryan Lindemann as well, saying, "Conman to the lead. Let's go." And shout out to Forza 5. At the beginning of the stream, Forza 5 subscribing with Prime. So we're going to restart with just over 45 laps to go. Connor Cordes, Jeff Rudick on the front row, waiting for the green lights atop the starter stand to signal their advance. Let's go racing again at Daytona. And immediately it's a crash. Paul Weckerly in the 22 involved in this one. Looks like the 0-2 also got a piece. How about the 1-9? There's Michael Bennett in the 1-9. Justin Shoup in the 91. Involved, no, he makes it through, I'm sorry, the 1-9 of Mike Bennett involved. And earlier I said that Mike Bennett was incorrectly labeled as the 91. That's my mistake. Bennett is correctly labeled. And we now have caution number 5 right before the stage break, so this very well could be the stage break. But let's have a look and see just how that one happened. Well, I'll tell you how it happened. It's just impatience coming down the back straight, but let's find out. I could be wrong. Believe it or not, I have been wrong before. But I'm willing to bet that it starts with bump drafting down the back straight. Zach Bailey cheering for Kirk. That's Mike Kirk in that 45. Let's see if Kirk avoided this one. He's in that Gamecocks Camaro. Straight away, Paul Weckerly up the inside. Up the middle, and it looks like just contact. The 46 got involved. No way the 45 missed that one. The 19 almost made it through. And once again, Weckerly virtually unharmed. See if we can find another angle on this here. Weckerly shoots to the middle out of turn number 2 with no draft help whatsoever. and that is his demise. Let's see if we can have another angle on Paul Weckerly. And look at that bump drafting in the corner from the 1-3 as well. The bump drafting does not help, and this is something that drivers must learn. You do not bump draft in the corners. That upsets Weckerly. Weckerly to the outside. It looks like Colin Hefner gets in the wall. Nowhere for the 46 to go. And a bunch of drivers caught in this one. How about the 11 car? Would you look at Dylan Schultz? Run that one back. Keep your eye on Dylan Schultz here. Matter of fact, let's ride on board with Schultz. Dylan Schultz gets through all of it. Does not miss a step. The native of Columbus with quick moves to get out of that. Cody McFadden tries to make it through in the 6-4 and does so successfully. Cars just flying everywhere unnecessarily. One more look here. You're going to see the bump drafting upset Weckerly in that double 2. There it is, the bump drafting from the 13, just unnecessary. They just restarted the race. Unnecessary bump drafting. Weckerly also shooting up the middle. Not a good move as well. And this is what happens. Impatience. Once again, upsetting a number of drivers, causing a big accident. Shout out to Dylan Schultz, though. One more look at Schultz. Watch this. It's moves like that that keep Dylan Schultz in one piece, and for that kind of skill, Dylan Schultz earns his very own Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream! Give me some of them!
Schultz will restart on the inside row, 4 spots back. Unofficially, that puts him 7th. When we restart just before the halfway mark here, Connor Cordes in the 5 will have control of the field. Jeff Rudick will be to the outside. Cody Johnson in that 08 will have the 2nd row. And the lights are out atop the pace car, so we'll see just how far they make it this time. 37 laps about to be completed. Cordes with control. Rudick to the outside just before the halfway mark. Green flag is out. So much for the drone cam. Connor Cordes with control. They almost go 3 wide again. Cody Johnson behind that 5. Cordes continues to lead. Everyone shoving furiously down the back straight. Jostling again. Will they find patience? Will they find peace? 3 wide into turn number 3. Bennett in the 19, watching cars fan out behind him, and there is the single file line once again. Bennett shoots to the inside, and they've crashed once again. The 74 of Jeff Rudick into the wall, running backwards. Caution again out immediately, and it looks like the 78 of Kendall Paul just got turned. And let's see what happened to Kendall Paul here. This is after Jeff Rudick. The 22 of Paul Weckerly not slowing down and spinning Kendall Paul. Weckerly has been on one this evening. directly involved in 2 accidents, and now it looks like he turns Kendall Paul under caution. Let's have another look at Weckerly. One more look here. I have no idea what the thought process is, but let's find out. Give him the benefit of the doubt if we can, and they're in contact with the 1-7, but then the double 2 just gets into Kendall Paul. You'd think at that point you'd slow the car down just to avoid any other accidents, but let's take a look at the more pressing issue on hand, the 7-4 of Rudick. And Jeff Rudick was blinking heavily coming up to this accident. Have a look. There's the blink by Rudick, and there's the contact with the double 9. Nothing Brian Tagg could do. Let's ride on board with Tagg. Now, credit where credit is due. Just about everybody made it through that accident unharmed. Really, just about 2 or 3 cars involved. Connor Cordes leads at the halfway mark, and that's as good as a stage break. So we're going to let these drivers do what they do best. We'll see who decides to pit, who doesn't. Reminder, drivers only get 3 maximum tire changes in this race. So 4 total, including the set that they started with. Connor Cordes leads Cody Johnson. Ryan Terrien in the top 3 for the first time today. We're going to get this drone cam figured out one way or the other. Don't you worry. Back into the top 11, Ryan Von Henschel brings his Interstate Batteries Camry into fighting shape. Drivers still need to figure out what they want to do this pit cycle. And the lights are out atop the pace car. That's what we were waiting for. So we know that we're going to go green next time by. We'll take a 60-second break, and we'll be back for the second half of the opening round of ENEA. Don't go anywhere, fans. So let's do it again. Connor Cordes once again with control of the field, slowly closing in on most laps led this evening, but still just under 40 laps remain. The green flag will come out, and we're racing again at Daytona. Connor Cordes now being shuffled out of the lead. The honor goes to Cody B. Johnson in that 0-8, but for how much longer will he hold on to that? The 1-3 of Ryan Terrien now gets behind him. That's Sean Anderson in the 1-3. Terrien in the 6 top side behind Connor Cordes, and down the back straight they march 2 by 2, almost 8 rows deep, and there goes the 0-8. Bump drafting down the back straight gets Cody Johnson. He's knocked out of the lead, and he is left wanting. Now no draft help, and here comes the cavalry. Dakota Long in the 8 has Perrin Huggins behind him, and just no help for Johnson. He is down. He is out for now. More than 35 laps remain in this race. Pasoko to the lead, and caution is out for the 7th time tonight. Ryan Von Schensel involved in this one. Oh, and there it is. How much you want to bet it's bump drafting in the straight that caused this accident? Looks like Perrin Huggins also might have caught a piece of this one too. This may have been after. Oh, just slowing down for the accident. Okay, let's have just another look here, because it looks like the 46 might have been involved in this one too. Check out Nick Simpson in that white 46. What in the world is going on? The 57 car right into the back. And how about Special Ed? Subscribing again. Appreciate you, Ed. Let's stop everything. Shout out the man Special Ed. Shout out Ed, Bama Trama, and T. Lockhart, who are constantly in Rick James TV chats. Now let's go back and check out what happened. Check out the 57 car. He's just going to run right through the back of the 46. This is Ryan Lindemann. Have a listen. What in the world was he thinking? Again, what? Matter of fact, no, let's go back and let's take a look with Nick Simpson. Nitro definitely got nitroed back there. Let's try this one again. Well, fans, what do we think? Put your opinion about that crash in the chat. Once again, all the love and all the blessings to Special Ed, another subscription. Also, shout out to the Bearded Champion who's following as well. Nuck followed as well. Miss Moneypenny following about an hour ago. Forza 5 subscribing at the start of the stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot do these streams without your subscriptions. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can get Rick James TV. With that Prime subscription, you do get one free subscription per month with Amazon Prime. Why not make that Rick James TV? Use Prime, subscribe, and go ad-free. Pasoko leads the race. Tag in that second position. And it looks like with just over 30 laps to go, drivers get a choice of tires, no tires, what is the move? Yellow lights turn off atop the flag stand, and that means we're going green next time by. Don't you dare miss this restart. It's going to be awesome. Lindemann in that 5-7. He has got some bump drafting to answer for, and we'll just see where he ends up on the other side of the restart. But Ryan Pasoko, Brian Tagg will have control when we go back to green. Who do you got? It's been quite the race so far. Let's take a look at just what's happened. Paul Weckerly getting involved in that first piece of action. Ryan Von Henschel also getting involved. Have a look at the 2-0. '91 of Nick Shoup also getting involved. How about Dylan Schultz? Just scooting through all that to earn his Cole Trickle move of the race as we get ready to go green once again. Tag to the inside of Pasoko. We're going to have 32 laps to go when the flag comes out. Michael Bennett, Jake Baker in row number 2. Welcome Dakota Long back into the top 5. Perrin Huggins in 7th. Sean Anderson in 10th. 32 laps to go and we're racing again at Daytona. Three wide again with the 17 of Baker left with no help, and just what will come of that? These drivers losing their patience out already since the green flag started. There goes Dakota Long to the top, 2 by 2, 3 rows deep, and it's going to be Long, Prince, and Huggins. Your top 3 sparkling, shining like a brand new pair of glasses down that front straight. 31 laps to go in the world center of racing. One driver down to the grass. It looked like the 19 car. Will they all survive coming back out of turn number 3? We're still green, but you can see drivers shuffling, struggling to find their comfort zone. The 6 down on the apron. Ryan Terrien struggling to get back up to speed. Bottleneck Connor Cordes involved. Perrin Huggins has been turned around. Jake Baker involved once again. Ryan Terrien also catching a piece of that crash. Sean Anderson catching a piece of this one. And let's have a look. This started a long time ago. Perrin Huggins not bump drafting in the tri-oval. The 17 car getting right to the inside. Jake Baker. He's got some explaining to do. Let's have a look. Baker making heavy contact with Colton Hefner. And again, the same thing that happened with Ryan Lindemann. Watch on board Ryan Lindemann coming through the tri-oval. Let's go back to Jake Baker here before this all unfolded. Here's a better look with Baker. That's Colin Hefner there. Let's see if we can go back a little bit further to the contact that Hefner and Baker made before this caution came out. Just no restraint out of the tri-oval. 2-3 very good cars involved. There goes the 13 of Sean Anderson who got turned. Keep your eye on Colton Hefner in that 2-7. Let's see the contact that he makes. And you can already see down the back. Look at that. The 6-4 got involved. We missed that one completely. Again, and this is on the first lap after restart. Drivers with no patience there. The 27 and the 17, no idea how they didn't wreck. And Jake Baker with just no restraint right into the 4. And Baker currently being scored as the race leader with Cody Johnson in that second position. Jeff Rudick sitting in third. And we have inside 30 laps to go from the World Center of Racing. We'll see just what kind of reaction Perrin Huggins has to that. And if I were Jake Baker, I'd be looking over my shoulder for the rest of this race. Perrin Huggins, a very well-liked driver in ENEA. He's got tenure in ENEA. And we'll see just how that affects the rest of Jake Baker's race. So the drivers now wait for, there are the lights turning off the pace car there. We're going to take another 60-second break and get ready for the restart, fans. Don't go anywhere. It's getting hairier. It's getting dicier. We'll see just how far they can make it next time around. Green flag in 60 seconds. Baker and Johnson with control of the field as we wait for the green flag to signal the restart at the high banks of Daytona. There it is. Let's go racing. Jake Baker already dumped and pushed out of the lead and almost pushed off the racetrack. Connor Cordes to the front, new leader at Daytona, and it's already 3 wide. Baker getting into a couple other cars, the 7-4. That looks like Jeff Rudick that's just been pushed out of position. Keep your eye on that white 17, wiggling all over the place, trying to control his race car. Jake Prince behind him now with the one of Thunderman Cell now coming up. Where is Perrin Huggins in relation to that 17? Connor Cordes leads, and we have 25 laps to go from Daytona International. Cordes leading. Dakota Long in that second position, and Cody Johnson sitting in third. Thunder Mansell now behind in that one. He's got the 9-1 of Justin Shoup now moving to the inside. Just reminds me that TLC. Who's saying Shoup? Was it TLC or Salt and Pepper? Either way, I love that song. Connor Cordes still leading, 24 to go this time by. And we should probably preface this before we go any further. These drivers have five green-white checkered attempts tonight. And for those that don't know, green-white checkers at this particular racetrack are just another opportunity for a big pileup. So we'll see just what happens. Shoup in that 91. That Coors Banquet Camry being pushed along by the two of Ryan Pasocco. Kyle Chafin. He's in the top 15 for the first time today. The double 4 on the outside as Ryan Lindemann, who's been involved in a crash or two just by that front nose. Shoup to the inside, 3 wide through the tri-oval. Lindemann in the middle. Connor Cordes still leading. Dakota Long in second. Long right behind that 5. It goes Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Toyota. Can never get that camera to work. Hate it. Connor Cordes still leading. Dakota Long out of that 4th corner, and now they come down that front straight. Cordes with the advantage, Long behind him, and Johnson now pushing this top 3 trio away from the rest of the competition. Jake Baker, Justin Shoup behind. Brian Tagg in that 99 gets right down to the 2. And how much longer will they last? Moving at speed. 21 laps remain. 19, Michael Bennett just a little bit sideways. He's got the 13. Sean Anderson just behind him. Shoup to the outside. Justin in that Coors Banquet machine watching Perrin Huggins go down to the inside, and it's on now. Huggins leaving the 9 of Jake Prince behind, and he's on the move, coming right up to the 17. Contact Jake Baker and the 2 of Ryan Pasocco, and it was always going to happen. We stay green. Connor Cordes at the front. Dakota Long in the 2nd position. Cody B. Johnson in 3rd. 20 laps to go next time by. Connor Cordes leading Dakota Long. CJ, Cody Johnson in 3rd, and how about Lucas Reed up to the top 5 for the first time today? Shoup left wanting. Let's have another look here at what exactly just happened to Jake Baker. And looks like the 2 car possibly not a fan of Baker's previous move, and he's showing that frustration. There's Baker in the 1-7. Keep your eye on the 2 of Ryan Pasocco. Pasocco running in the 18th position, draftless. Connor Cordes continues to lead. Dakota Long looking for clean air behind him. Shoup still in the top 5. He's got Thunder Mansell behind him. 2-0 to go. Now becomes 1-9 at the line. The season opener enters the final stanza. But just how long can they last? Thunder Mansell, Lucas Reed behind on the outside. Ryan Terrien, who got turned in that last accident, back into fighting shape. Perrin Huggins, the monster Fords are lined up. Dakota Long and Huggins to the inside. There's bump drafting into the corner. That is a no-no. Connor Cordes holding everybody off with 18 laps to go, and the drivers have got to be careful now. There they go again, Long to the outside. Cordes with no draft help. But now he's got Cody Johnson lined up behind him. Chevys to the inside, Fords to the outside. There goes Dakota Long to the inside, and he's lost the draft. What kind of move was that? Just getting Perrin Huggins ahead of him, and now the monster Fords have been broken up once again. Ryan Terrien, part of that group on the outside line. Huggins left wanting, and Cordes has figured out the move. He has split the monster Fords. There goes Long, desperate to get back in front of Perrin Huggins, and they are without their help. Huggins bump drafting in the corner. Not a safe move, and he's got to be careful. Huggins bump drafting out of turn 4, and Perrin Huggins really playing an irresponsible game at this point. Too early for the bump draft. Bump drafting in the corner, and that is what it gets you. Drivers shooting to the outside. The 17 of Zach Baker trying some ridiculous moves on the inside. We'll see what happens with him. Perrin Huggins in the 4 now in front of the 8 car of Dakota Long. And again, the bump drafting in the corner has got to stop. These drivers are being irresponsible with their racing lives. 16 to go this time by, 3 wide into turn number 3. The monster Fords playing games and slowing that outside line. No progress will be made. Single file and uncontested top 3, 16 laps to go. Cordes pushed out of line, now in the middle and with no draft help. Monster Fords on the outside. Cody Johnson to the point on the inside. Johnson with help from Mansell in that 1. Justin Shoup pushing Perrin Huggins, who shoots to the inside, leaving his teammate behind far too early. 15 to go. Bump drafting again out of turn number 4, and the drivers get crazy. The drivers get dicey. Not caring anymore. 14 laps to go, and it's Shoup to the outside. 9-1. Coors Camry to the lead. The 6th car of Ryan Terrien behind him. And again, how long will the patience last? Connor Cordes on the outside behind the number 9 Oreo Chevrolet. Jake Prince with a mirror full of 5. The Busch Light Machine inside, outside, weaves the race car basket into turn number 3, but he's got to keep the strand straight. Dakota Long leading, top 3, uncontested. Cody Johnson with a bump out of 4. Number 3, Lucas Reed, back in the hunt. Looking all the way back. Cody McFadden in car 6-4, who was wrecked earlier. Top 13 in this pack. Colin Hefner in 14th, being drafted by Kyle Chafin. Long, Huggins, Johnson. The Monster Fords at the front, and the way they've been bump drafting, I do not expect them to get any nicer to each other. Just look at the way that they weave all over the place. Huggins bump drafting in the tri-oval, and if they wreck each other, it will be of their own doing. Just watch. If they wreck each other, they're going to do it to themselves. They can only do this so long, and it's not like the patience is going to get any stronger coming to 12 laps to go in the season opener. Cordes shot to the outside, possibly seeking relief, possibly looking for a draft partner. Shoop to the inside. Will they all survive into turn number 3? And they make it. And breathe. Long, Huggins, Johnson, they're pitting. They're pitting. They can go no longer. Thunder Mansell, new leader. Look at everybody on their way in. And this is where, oh my goodness, the 08 card just went around. Cody Johnson almost getting into the 6 of Ryan Terrien. That's going to cost them. And if the race goes green to the end, we know it's not going to, given how this whole race has gone, but that's not the point. If the race goes green to the end, it's going to cost them dearly. 5 cars at the front. But just how far will they go? Dakota Long out behind Justin Shoop in the 91. This is where these drivers must get organized. Jake Prince, Mike Bennett, Cody McFadden. Where is Perrin Huggins? He's now exiting pit road by his lonesome in that 4. Cody Johnson in the 08, nowhere to go for him, and the 6 of Ryan Terrien still not moving. Disorganization at its finest, and it will cost those drivers just about everything. But how about Thunder Mansell trying to go by himself now? Ryan Lindemann to the outside of the double 2 car. Paul Weckerly not on the same lap as Lindemann. Connor Cordes now on his way out of pit road. Sean Anderson now exiting pit road. Brian Tagg on his way out, and Luke Reed still not moving. Thunder Mansell may not lose as much time as he thought if he pits now, but how far will he risk it? And that will be it for Mansell. He's on his way in. Lindemann, also no draft help coming out of turn number 4, turn number 2, excuse me. Will he stay out? He is the last driver who has yet to pit under this green flag cycle. There is Cordes, overtaken by Justin Shoop, who's got Dakota Long behind him. 1-0 at the line is 9 this time by. 9 lonely circuits at Daytona. And just how long will they last? Mansell being overtaken by Lindemann, who's got the 6 car behind him. That's Ryan Terrien, who's in the 17th position, 1 lap off the pace. But look at everyone else behind him. Lindemann has yet to pit. Lindemann cannot go the distance. He must be gambling on a caution. If they wait patiently, they can outrun Ryan Lindemann. They just must wait for him to come down pit road. Disorganization all over the track. Justin Shoop looking to get a draft partner. Lindemann continues to lead, and 1-0 to go becomes 9 as he crosses the line. Caution is out for the 9th time tonight. Connor Cordes has been involved in an accident. There is the Busch Light car being piloted by the Kansas City driver. And let's see what happened to Connie. Back up onto the racetrack, and it looks like the 8 car might have had something to do with this. Ryan Pasoko also might have been involved. Have a look. There's the 2 car just by himself. That's going to be the 9 of Jake Prince. What did he have to do with Cordes going around? Cordes to the outside. Prince bump drafting super hard. The 8's been involved. How about the 19 car not getting caught up? That's Mike Bennett, who just survived this one. Have a look. Hold on. Not a scratch. That was awesome. Have another look at Mike Bennett. That's what I call close, and that's what I call, for Michael Bennett, the Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
That's one for Bennett and one for Dylan Schultz. A couple of Cole Trickle awards tonight, and the Connecticut pilot gets something for his efforts. But that's it. Look at that. 2021, 2015, 2005 champion driver at Stafford Speedway. That is impressive. Michael Bennett with some wicked moves to stay in this race. There is Ryan Lindemann, who got his caution, and that will put Justin Shoup at the front of the field. We're going to restart inside. 5 laps to go. Fans at home are going to take one more commercial. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the green flag from Daytona. Go nowhere. Five solitary laps in regulation. The bump drafting has been intense this evening, but just will it last long enough to go another 5 laps? They get 5 green-white checkered attempts to finish this race. Justin Shoop and Jacob Prince will have control of the field as the pace car peels off. Wait for those green lights and watch them just unfurl into turn number 1. Let's go racing. So far, so good into turn number 3. Jake Prince behind Justin Shoop, urging him, willing him, trying to drive the car ahead of him, and still bump drafting through that corner. Shoop with control, but he's a sitting duck. How about Perrin Huggins in the 4? He's got the 1 of Thunder Mansell just up ahead, and Dakota Long. These two have been the strongest bump drafters all night long. Long, for once, not bump drafting in that tri-oval, and Huggins also relents, trying to get to that 8 car, but there's no stopping the 4 and the 8. 4 laps to go, and they've crashed once again. Didn't even make it 1 lap in 1 corner. Have a look. The 5 of Connor Cordes, the 19 involved. Have another look. Oh, just the 19 trying to move low. Cordes right behind him. And nothing you could do. Have another look. The 1-9 of Mike Bennett. Oh, and a pretty hard hit for a lot of drivers. But it was that 1-9 of Mike Bennett that just caught the back end of Connor Cordes' bump. Have another look. So it will be the first of 5 green-white checkered attempts. Jake Prince has Dakota Long behind him. Perrin Huggins will be starting not behind Dakota Long, but expect these two to hook up immediately. But again, the bump drafting is going to be quite a talking point here. Thunder Mansell in 4th. Cody Johnson in the 5th position. Colton Hefner in 6th, with Justin Shoop in 7th, Ryan Lindemann in 8th, Connor Cordes in 9th, and Sean Anderson round out your top 10. So Prince, Long, and Huggins in the top 3. They have been in the top 3 all race long. Huggins and Long, you can see the similarly painted cars on the same team, as is Ryan Terrien, who is lining up in the 11th position. Kendall Paul sitting in 12th. But just how far will Prince go before he's pushed out of the lead? We appreciate every last one of you coming through tonight. Fans at home, if you've just tuned in, you've missed a really eventful race, to say the least. These ENEA drivers really love their draft. They really do love a bump draft. However, next week at Phoenix, this isn't something that you're going to see. I certainly hope next week at Phoenix, this isn't something that we're going to see. However, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. How about that? For now, we have a green-white checkered, the first of 5 total attempts. And that's to say, if they can't complete 1 lap. Let me say that again. They get 5 green-white checkered attempts if they cannot complete 1 lap without crashing. Let's see how that works out for them. Prince and Long on the front row. Mansell and Huggins in the second row. Hefner and Johnson, row 3. Justin Shoup, Ryan Lindemann, row 4. Connor Cordes and Sean Anderson, who spent the majority of this race in the top 5, will be decorating row number 5. Who do you got? How do you think it's going to end? How many green-white checkered attempts do you think we're going to have? Put it all in the chat. Lockhart saying he's got a root on the OG ENEA boys. The veterans make it all possible. Shotgun agreeing with him. Appreciate all the fans that have been in the chat tonight. All the fans shouting out their favorite drivers. And if you've watched for 5 seconds or 5 whole hours, thank you so much for being a part of Rick James TV. We can't do this without you. This Thursday, TNT comes back, baby. Thursday Night Thunder right here, Rick James TV, 8:40 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. ARCA cars on Irwindale Speedway. You have got to catch this. Lockhart saying 3 overtime attempts, not 5. Maybe I read that wrong. Jake Prince has control, and we're racing again. Drone cam still not working right. We'll figure that out. White flag next time by, and they don't even make it 2 corners. Connor Cordes involved. Ryan Lindemann involved. Jake Baker in the 17 involved. They did not make it 2 corners. Well, there's attempt number 1. They did not make it even 2 corners. Let's try this again. Keep your eye on the 5.7 of Lindemann. Ryan Lindemann trying to squeeze into a hole that does not exist. Have another look at the 5.7. This is the green flag here. Keep your eye on the black and green 5.7 of Lindemann. Look, there's the bottleneck right there. Justin Shoup missed the restart. And watch the hole close up on the left-hand side. Now, the hole is always closing. Lindemann will try and squeeze in. Nowhere for Cordes to go. 3, 4, 5 cars, 6 cars involved in this accident. And the man they used to call ENEA Lindo squeezing himself into a hole that was always closing. Caution number 11. And we've officially passed regulation. We're about to complete lap 81. Jake Prince will have control of the field again. Dakota Long is in second. Perrin Huggins is in third. T. Lockhart guessing it's going to take them 3 overtime attempts out of 5 to finish this race. Well, let's just see, shall we? We're going to get another couple laps of caution as the lights are still on atop the pace car. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes with green-white checkered attempt number 2. You're watching the season opener of ENEA on Rick James TV. If you've just tuned in, it's going to be chaos again. Green-white checkered attempt number 2 in the season opener of ENEA at Daytona. Master Flex following. Welcome, Flex. Check this out. Dakota Long on the inside, Jacob Prince on the outside. The green flag will fly, and we'll try this again. Let's see if we can make it more than 2 corners this time. It's a 5-mile dash for the win at Daytona. When's the last time Dr. Bush was in a race chat? How about that? Good to see you, Bush. Jake Prince at the front. Dakota Long behind. Perrin Huggins in third. He has a penchant for bump drafting. Will it take out the leaders? Look at the 0-8 Cody Johnson sneaking in between Mansell and Shoup. White flag out this time by Dakota Long, pushing, urging Prince across the line, and it's a race no matter what. Jake Prince in the 9, Dakota Long in the 8, Perrin Huggins in the 4, 3 wide. They're going to wreck behind them. Jacob Prince, Dakota Long, Perrin Huggins top 3, 3 wide still. They haven't wrecked yet. 4 cars, single file out of turn number 2. Prince trying to throw the block. They still haven't wrecked out of turn number 2. Prince leading, Long behind. Huggins in third. Will the Monster Fords go together? The answer is no. Huggins to the outside. They finally crash into 3. It's 4 cars to the end. Prince, Long, 1, 2 out of 4. Who's going to win it? Who's going to make the right move? Jake Prince to the inside. Dakota Long to the outside. Prince, Long, they touch, and it's going to be Dakota Long who wins the ENEA season opener at Daytona. He timed it absolutely perfect. Dakota Long wins the season opener at Daytona with an excellent move to the outside. He beats Jacob Prince by 2/100ths of a second. What a move. Dakota Long, your winner tonight at Daytona. Unbelievably timed. Fantastically timed. Dakota Long opens the season the right way with the W, and he will celebrate in style. He wins the season opener. The 9 of Jake Prince for some reason there. Dakota Long trying to spin the car out. He will do his donuts in celebration, or at least burn it out right there on the apron. Let's have another look at the white flag. Look at him just furiously pushing the 9. He's upsetting the 9 into turn number 1. Not sure what he's trying to do. Have another look. From this angle, it actually looks like Dakota Long is trying to wreck the 9. Watch the way he just continues to twist the 9 out of shape. Not sure what Dakota Long is thinking, but it works. He didn't wreck it. Give Dakota Long his credit. He did the bare minimum, and he didn't wreck the guy ahead of him. There's Long again, just twisting the 9 out of shape down the back straight. But wait for the move. Watch that 8. Oh, he does indeed. He just gets the 9 out of shape. Jake Prince not happy about that move. Dakota Long crosses the line as the victor. Jake Prince not happy at all. Have another look at Dakota Long making the pass on Prince. Let's go back just a bit further. And watch Dakota Long just move Prince out of the way. One more look. This is coming out of turn number 4, the run to the line. Dakota Long gets the bumper right underneath Prince, gets him out of shape on the way to the end. And he beats him by 2/100ths of a second to the line. Dakota Long, your winner tonight at Daytona. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with tonight's bronze medalist, one Perrin Huggins. Man, they used to call PTH the GOAT. Perrin, bronze medal tonight at Daytona. What more could you have done to win that race?
Not had damage, man. That was a wild race, but I just got wrecked one too many times and just couldn't get the run. Have a chance, but I'm glad my teammate won, and we'll move on to next week at Phoenix.
We'll see you in 7 days at Phoenix. Congratulations on the bronze medal. Moving on to tonight's silver medalist, driver of the number 9 Oreo Chevrolet, Jacob Prince. Jake, it was a dominant last lap up until turn number 4. Why don't you give us your perspective on what happened?
Yeah, on those restarts, me and Dakota were kind of working together, trying to pull away from the field, and I appreciate his honesty, and he was letting me in and getting away from the field, and everything worked out perfect. I just got a little loose off of 4, but, I mean, I can't blame him. He's pushing for the win, and happy for him. Me, him, and Perrin have known each other for a long time and raced together for a long time, so we kind of had a plan coming in tonight to work together and to sweep the podium. It's fun, and hopefully we'll come back next week and have another good performance.
7 nights from now at Phoenix, do you have a plan to get around Long and get the W this time?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had it there, and I wanted to side drive him really hard down the front stretch, but I just got so loose I lost a run. But I'm happy for him. You know, I'm cool with second. A lot of times on these super speedways, you don't even win, or you don't even finish. You don't win nothing. So it's good to finish and start off solid in the points, and we'll go from there.
We'll see you in a week's time. Now on to tonight's race winner, driver of the number 8 Monster Energy Ford, Dakota Long. The whole time just right behind the 9, trying to get him out of shape. Did you know you were going to bump draft him sideways out of 4, or how did that come together?
I didn't know I was going to turn him sideways a little bit off 4, but I just told him that we'd work together right here, and I was going to push as hard as I could and get us out to where it'd just be me and his race, and then just turn him a little bit sideways. But I can't let up in that moment. But it was real good. Me and Jacob and Perrin, we had a plan coming in that we was going to work through together, and I think we maintained the lead all night long, and nothing sweeter than getting a 1, 2, 3.
That strategy working out to get the podium, and now you can take that same strategy to Phoenix. Is there anything you all can do to work together and get another podium in the desert next week?
I don't think we can, not as much as work together there, but we will definitely try our best to work and race each other cleaner and just not push each other and save our tires a little bit more than the rest of the field. That's all we can do about that. But we'll definitely work together the rest of the season to see what it comes to.
We'll see what happens 7 nights from now, but for now, you get to go ahead and celebrate. You have kicked off the ENEA season with a W at no other place than Daytona. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Fans at home, that puts a nice little bow on what was a fantastic race at Daytona. All 87 laps of action. thrilling from start to finish. Next week, we take it to the Phoenix Raceway. You won't want to miss that, and if you just need more racing in your life, this Thursday, we get back with the Thunder. TNT is back when we put the ARCA cars on the oval at Irwindale. You cannot miss that. And until the next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and